What is up, my metaverse compatriots, and welcome to today's video. As you can see from the title and hear from the intro, things are changing in the virtual reality world, especially for Facebook. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about some predictions I have for the future of Meta, Facebook, Oculus, or whatever you want to call it, as well as other things from Facebook Connect. Sorry for the rantiness of this video. I was on a time crunch, so I basically just jotted down all of my ideas and thoughts with some gameplay thrown in the background. With that being said, let me know your thoughts about everything you've heard from Facebook Connect down in the comments below, and let's hop into the video. For starters, let's clarify the new names. The parent company of Facebook, Instagram, Oculus, Messenger, and more, previously named Facebook, has been changed to Meta. As for Oculus specifically, they are in the process of dropping the Oculus branding and adopting the parent company's name, similar to how Facebook used to be owned by Facebook. Meta will now own Meta, if that makes any sense. They're going to drop the Oculus name and call it Meta. As of current date, the VR company owned by Meta is still called Oculus, so in today's video, that is what I will be referring to it as. Anytime you hear me mention Meta, I am talking about the parent company. Okay, with that overly complicated explanation out of the way, we can get started. Right off the bat, it was clear that Meta was trying to listen to us. All those times that they would do something that would cause an outrage in the community, they are finally addressing. Obviously, the major change that has shown this quite clearly is the ability to sign into future headsets without a Facebook account. Now, I have a suspicion that was less the consumer feedback and more governmental and business. However, it is still a step in the right direction for Meta as a company. Following that, I would like to say before we dive too deep, but if you were disappointed in the lack of games and headsets, don't be. For one, this isn't the place for VR specifically, and secondly, we weren't really expecting it. If you want games, well, for starters, this year wasn't great for new releases. However, you will always find that content during separate events streamed on the official Oculus page rather than across all Meta platforms. And in terms of a new Quest 2 Pro, it was kind of obvious that we weren't going to get it. They had leaks of other stuff in the headset market. However, there was no guarantee we'd get a Quest 2 Pro. And with how recently the Quest 2 just came out, and I was about to say Facebook, and Meta's current atmosphere for how they want VR to be, it just really wouldn't make sense for a Quest Pro to exist. But as always, with that out of the way, let's talk about what I'm excited for in this metaverse. For starters, all you optimistic Andys out there, hold your horses. We are a long ways off from everything that was promised. I think timeliness wise, we're probably at least a year away from the shared hubs that they were talking about. These are like the Oculus home lobbies where you can invite your friends and then all pick a game together. And that release date is probably going to be decided by when they release the new headset, which we will get back to later. And then a bunch of the other features like being able to bring things into VR is at least 2 years away at the earliest. That's just going to take technology that isn't currently in the Quest 2, which means it's still in development and it won't come out until we get the new headset because it just won't work. And sadly, the whole interconnected virtual workspace is probably a whiles off. The whole virtual workspace is close to completion, I think. They're getting pretty far on the Oculus Quest 2, and they're actually able to incorporate some things now like laptops and your desk space, which is really, really far ahead of any other headset in the market currently. But in terms of making a collective workspace in VR where different headsets connect up to each other and you can have a virtual office, I think we still may be some ways off from that. And that is just really unfortunate because that was really the thing that interested me the most from this entire event. The idea of having infinite free monitors and tabs, as well as being comfortable and also being in a productive environment, but still keeping those social interactable aspects that just make most jobs interesting and enjoyable, just seems like a fantastic idea. Of course, this is coming from a kid in high school whose only job experience has been YouTube, furniture movement, and holidays. Focusing more on Oculus Ventures as a whole, they are most likely going to continue down the path of a single cheap consumer headset, most likely sold at a loss, that can be standalone as well as with PC VR through a physical or wireless connection. They're probably going to focus more on hand tracking and interaction software in these headsets, improving it drastically, That way we can get to a more virtual focused world where you never actually have to take off your headset. This will make interactivity easier and brings us closer to the day where we don't even need controllers while spending all of our time in VR. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for, Project Cambria. This brand new Oculus headset announced during Connect is not the Quest 2 Pro. I just need to make myself clear, it has a different design style and purpose. This headset is going to be much more expensive and cater less to your average consumer. It will have face and mouth tracking, which is good for interactivity as well as increasing power through focused rendering. The biggest thing that really shows the distance between this headset and the idea of it being a Quest 2 Pro is just its simple emphasis on the augmented reality experience. The headset will have full HD colored pass-through, allowing for productive use of pass-through and mixed reality experiences. This can be really cool if the API is given out openly and publicly for developers to use. I see tons of uses, mainly in media consumption and productivity. However, there is some ways you could incorporate gaming. But just imagine being able to cook with a recipe that's always in the top left, as well as sensors all around you that tell you how much liquid you've poured while you're cooking, and then also being able to keep track of how long your pies have been in the oven with a timer down in the bottom right. Never having to glance at your phone or at a recipe on your computer, this could make doing everyday activities much quicker. Unfortunately, trying to fit all of this amazing tech into a tiny standalone headset is going to be incredibly challenging, which means we're probably going to be waiting till late 2022 at the earliest, and probably mid 2023 is more likely the release date, with probably the latest being early 2024. Speaking back on Oculus listening to feedback, they have actually decided to recruit some creators as ambassadors for the company to talk to the community. If you made it this far into the video, I'm excited to say that I have been asked to join the program. I do plan to make a full announcement video, but here is a little info drop for those who've made it to the end of the video. As always, if you've enjoyed, leaving a like would be much appreciated. Thank you to all of my members. You mad lads allow me to create my content. My little lettuces and my mama bears, thank you all so much for your support. One more thing about the Ambassador program is the fact that I am able to get game keys. This means that I'll have a lot more games that I can review and talk about on the channel. This also means I may get back into streaming, so if you want to see some of those, make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell. I stream right here on YouTube. Some things you may see me streaming is the new Lone Echo 2 as well as the new Resident Evil 4 VR. With that being said, have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody. Bye!